everyone, it is Melissa Peoples with Admin Gurus. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm very excited to be back. I've had to take a little bit of a time off. I know many of you have checked in on me and I appreciate that so much. I had some personal situations that I just needed to take some time and take care of that, and I am very grateful that I did, and I'm energized and excited to be back, doing what we do. On today's podcast, we're going to be talking about the one conversation that completely revolutionized my career. Like many new administrative professionals, I was new to a role and I was supporting an executive who was wonderful, but we were still building that partnership and I did not know them very well. I was working to do my best, getting to know the team, getting to know my executive, which we all know how challenging that can be. So as I was working with my executive, although we had scheduled one-on-one time, I would very easily give it up. And being new to the role and understanding how the organization was functioning and who their direct reports were and all the people that were demanding their time, I tended to be very flippant. Well, I shouldn't say flippant, but I tended to not make myself a priority. And so someone would come by and say, hey, I need to have time with this executive, and I would give up my time or I would move things around to make it work. And during one of our one-on-ones with my executive, they looked at me and they said this thing, and I would say that out of my entire career, this is probably the one thing that shifted something in me the most. I think it affected me probably the most profoundly of any statement ever in my 25 years as an executive assistant. So this executive looked at me and very calmly and nicely looked at me and said, when you allow other people to circumvent your one-on-one and you move it around and you give up your one-on-one, it makes me feel as if I'm not a priority to you. And that, I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, absolutely shocked me to my core. Because here I am thinking, oh my gosh, like I'm being super supportive and I'm, making things work. But at the end of the day, what I wasn't realizing is that my executive needed me to be a business partner. He needed to have that time with me if I was going to be extension of them. If I was going to focus on helping them drive strategy, if I was going to build my business acumen, if I was going to understand what's happening in the business, if I could understand how I could be the greatest support and asset to them, I needed time. And so now, of course, nobody gets time if I don't have time. If they're so busy that they don't have time for me, that means they're too busy, right? And if anybody needs time with them, it's got to be me. Now, of course, situations come up and you have to be flexible. And but you do have to make yourself a priority, because if you don't make yourself a priority, you will always get stuck focusing on the minute things. You'll focus on the tasks and the very tactical part of the role, and you'll never talk about strategy. You'll never plan the 30, 60, 90 days out. You will not understand what's happening in the business so that you can start putting things in place so that those goals that your executive wants to accomplish are actually happening and you're gaining some ground on them. You'll always be playing catch up. So I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are on this topic. I've heard executives who are unwilling to give their admins any time. I've heard executives who only want 5 or 10, 15 minutes a day, and they only want to focus on tactical things. So my encouragement to those of you who are in that situation is, you have to prove to them that time is valuable, and it may not come overnight. They may have never seen a really strong partnership. They may have never seen a really powerful, impactful EA. And sometimes, unfortunately, in our roles, the truth of the matter is that sometimes we do have to prove ourselves, and we have to prove that we're trustworthy and that we're a valued part of the team. And you do that by building your partnership, by understanding the business and building your business acumen, understanding what actions that your executive has on their plate and how you can pull those off. And those really only come through spending time together. It comes through asking questions and making sure that you prove that time where you're not just talking about the to-do list, but you're talking about strategy and the business really pulls you into that inner circle. And they will come to understand that, wow, this time that I'm spending, I've never done it before. This is new for me, but wow, it is really making a powerful impact on me and the company. And so, just stay encouraged. It's not easy. It does take work, but you can definitely get there. I would love to continue to have this conversation and hear what your thoughts are and your challenges and also your success stories. So let's keep the conversation going. But that's all that we have for today. I would love to invite you to follow this series. We're going to be beginning a series in January on building strategic partnerships, and that'll be a 4-part series. In the rest of December, we're going to be focusing on things that you can do to strategize for 2019. So come back and join us. Let's keep the conversation going, and I hope everyone has a great week. Thanks.